This is a Winchester model of 1897 pump action repeating shotgun manufactured per the serial number 1918. This is what's left of the stock, and this is what the slide is doing. So first order, we're going to pop this out, and we're going to take all this fun business off the business end. And with that out of the way, we're going to take the slide off, set the magazine to the side, and we're going to just pull the slide out like so. Now, you see here there's these two pins. They made up into that recess and that recess right there. And on its own, that's fine. But as you can see it here, that groove right there is because this thing wasn't tight and did a little wibbly wobbly. And then nice grooves got cut in, and now it won't sit straight no matter how hard you crank it. So the plan for today is throw some of the famed, beloved Brownell's Acraglass epoxy to fill these tracks so we don't get that loosey-goosey action, and try to get this stuck back together. Now that won't be a complete repair unto itself because glue isn't that trustworthy. So we're going to have one large metal dowel in the back stock here, and a collection of, if I have them here, I don't have them here on hand, but some smaller metal dowels to go right up in the wrist, and hopefully it'll hold recoil. Now this stock has indeed seen better days. I don't know how well it'll come out, but you can tell from oil intrusion that there's a line about right here. So of this entire stock here, only about that much was still connected, which is why I made the command decision to snap her in two, just so I can ensure I have even Acraglass penetration and bonding all around. And of course, this bit came off as well. This was hanging out about here, except it was popped up a fair bit, so it didn't like to hang on. So what we're going to do is mix ourselves together a nice thick blob of Acraglass. We're going to smear all of it all up and down this stock, and hopefully she'll stick. So I have my Acraglass here. I have my resin, hardener, and the dye, because wood grain is black. Now, the kit says use this spoon, but I'm not bedding a stock, so I don't need that much. So instead, I will use the precise calculated wooden measuring device to stir, and we'll use about that much to scoop up as well. All we need to do is take the preferred and available cutting device. I happen to have some side dikes, and we just, and there we go. Get a little, and now I have two measuring and cutting devices. So we just take and we mix. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Just take a scoop of about that much. Throw her on there. Then we'll take a scoop of about the same amount, roughly. It's a bit much. About the same amount. This thing is a ratty 100-year-old shotgun. It ain't the space shuttle, and it's not Teddy Roosevelt's hunting shotgun. So we can fudge it a little bit. And then we get some of this black dye on there. And of course, get it all over everything you don't want it on. And then mix her up. And now that we have a sufficient collection of black goo, we are going to take this small applicator and we're going to shove it up in these grooves. If it'll focus, come on. Yeah, it don't want to focus, but there's a groove right here, and the ugly one is this bad boy right here. Yeah, there we go. That's no good. That needs to be dealt with so we do not have more of the wibbly wobblies. So I'm just going to get a small dab here because you don't need much. Just a small smearing, and I don't want to get it in that hole. Just a small dab right there. And then we're going to go to the other side where this nice channel is. And we're just going to spread some Acraglass up in that channel. And we can see that it's there, and we just want to fill up that divot. And we have plenty of Acraglass mixed up already, so we'll use plenty right here. We can always file it off later. Plenty thrown on there. And we're going to throw some, because this hole is a little worn out as a whole, pun intended. So we're going to throw some more right on this edge here and force it to work. We go and just let this sit and let that cure up, and then we'll file it all off. And she is glued on together. All I gotta do, I'm going to take some of these rubber bands, and I'm going to take some clamps, and we're going to cinch her down and hope she holds. And here, this funny rig is our final product along with our handguard. This is now going to sit and cure for 24 hours, and then tomorrow I find out, did this work, or did I mix things improperly, or was it broken, or what have you. What an exciting time to be alive. So the process begins. It's been glued back. I chipped off the excess Acraglass. Now what I'm beginning to do is drill the 2 dowel holes, 2 at the front, and then 2 potentially at the rear here. I will be using these 1/8 screws. What I'll do is I will drill vent holes on the sides because I can't make those hollow. So drill vent holes on the sides to let the air out of the glue, or the Acraglass. And then we'll seal her up, and hopefully it'll make a stronger bond and stop it from snapping apart. So I've done it up. This is the toe. This is, as you can see by the indicating line there for the end of the butt plate, substantially more than I really needed, but better safe than sorry. There's for the real dowel, and then there's for the 4 at the front. This one I kind of screwed up the coverage on the top, but that's fine. There's the other 2. They both go through, right through this top piece, right here, through this crack, down to the bottom. And hopefully that'll help that recoil to go through here and not rely on the groove joint to pop it up. And the same for here. This dowel will hold this and make this not want to go. So it's going to be about that. And I found, well, this replacement leather pad is too short. It's not 5 inches, or 5.105, which is the length of the original butt pad, is 5.105 inches. It is the correct width right here at about 1.68, which is the width of the original pad, which leads me to believe that while it may not be long enough, this profile right here should be enough for me to get it. So what I'm going to do is use this to get it very rough. You know, I'll leave 1/8 inch of wood sticking out so that if that's way off, I can still profile it and make it fit with a proper replacement butt pad. But it'll be enough that I can profile it, stick a pad on. No one's going to notice it unless they're really paying attention, so I can, use it. And of course, I don't know if this will show up. Yeah, it doesn't show up. There's a nice big blob of Acraglass from this dowel here. So that'll have to be dealt with. But overall, I'm pretty pleased. So we're getting real close to the final product here. taken those step down holes and filed them down. I've taken the Acraglass on the back and filed it down. I've added in this toe repair. I don't have the correct butt plate at the moment, so we'll see how it fits. And of course, because it was a huge chunk of wood and I don't have time, I snagged some of these burrs from the Harbor Freight, threw them on the angle grinder there, or die grinder. And so as a result, I don't know if you can see it here, if it shows up on camera. Yeah, there we are. It's got a little bit of a divot in that side, because I am not, I don't have the fine touch with power tools yet. But I'm short on time, and again, this was already broken. So I'm not torn up about that. I'm just trying to get some of the final coats of boiled linseed oil on there now. And then I'll throw it on, crank it down, and it'll be good enough. I'll order a butt plate while I'm there and have it all installed. But, I mean, regardless, it's a fair sight better from a couple brass tacks and a random chunk of wood that doesn't even fit. And here is the final product. It's all hooked up. The glue's real good here. You can't really tell. The other side, there's a little bit of a gap there, but I'm not terribly worried about it. But here it is, attached to the final product. This gun came out very nice. Even though it's got, some damages, some wears, it's really come out quite well. This dent right here doesn't hurt the follower at all. Works freely, locks up. I haven't shot it yet, because I don't have shotgun ammo. But that'll be something to experiment with later. I'll now run the before and afters and see what it looks like before I got it and after I fixed
it. Down the road here for me, there's a big holly tree where they lay down $1 or $2. Where they drive round the bend and they come back and then there's a jug full of that good old Mountain Dew. Oh, they call it that old Mountain Dew, and those that refuse it are a few. I'll hush up my mug if you fill up the jug with good old Mountain Dew. Got some new perfume, it'll such a sweet smell perfume. But to her surprise, when you had it analyzed, there's nothing but that good old Mountain Dew. Well, they call it that old Mountain Dew, and those that refuse it are a few. I'll hush up my mug if you fill up my jug with good old Mountain Dew. Artist sawed off and Shorty only measures 4'2". But you give him a pint and he thinks he's a giant of that good old Mountain Dew. Well, they call it that old Mountain Dew, and those that refuse it are a few. I'll hush up my mug if you fill up my jug with good old Mountain Dew.